Yesterday I posted a video that was basically drugstore gems that in my opinion are even better than high-end. They're just some really great finds. And I mentioned that I might do all of the duds that I had found at the drugstore. So that's what we're gonna do today. I thought that it might be helpful to kind of take you through the drugstore items that I have picked up in the last probably 6 weeks and let you know how terrible they are so that you don't spend your money on them as well. If you are new here, my name is Penny. I am a master esthetician and I love all things skincare, of course, but I also love makeup. I have always loved makeup. So I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel if you enjoy this video, but definitely check out some of my skincare content and some of my device content. We have so many fun videos planned for the fall when it comes to microcurrent, radio frequency, and microneedling. So definitely stay tuned and subscribe before you go. Okay, let's get started. Let's start with probably one of the biggest fails from the drugstore for me, and that was this CC cream from the Creme shop. Now, this is actually, it looks like it's going to be a nice product. Even when you look through here, it looks a little bit yellow, but it didn't look terrible. I picked these up at CVS. I grabbed them in 2 shades because I think they were running like a buy one, get one 50% off. And it's actually a pretty big package. It is 1.69 ounces. And so I was like, hey, that's, a good amount of product. And I'm kind of a sucker for CC creams and tinted moisturizers and that kind of a level of coverage in the summer. I like to have a little bit less coverage, so CC creams are typically my jam. Here's the deal with these. The tone is so far off that I don't even know who would be able to wear these. I'm going to show you guys. This is the color, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Just wait till you see. I really hope that the camera does an accurate representation. But if you can see here, these are 2 of the light medium shades. That undertone is so yellow. It's like it's got saffron in it or something, turmeric, I don't know, but it literally is the most yellow color. It's so far off. In fact, this one is light 100 is that top one. So here's the thing. Obviously there are people with, a little bit more yellow undertones. I know that, but that is so yellow and it is not very light. So these were a huge fail. Neither one of these, it was light 100 and medium 130, and neither one is even remotely a good undertone. Way off. And I don't think just for me. Those are really like odd undertones in general. Okay, next let's talk about a blush from Revlon. I picked up this blush and it just looks so pretty. I am so into this kind of a baby pink wash on the cheeks. I just think it's gorgeous. And here's the deal with this one. It is so powdery. It kicks up so much. And then when you put it on your cheeks, it's just a powder bomb. It's not flattering, in my opinion, on mature skin. And it's like it's too soft. Let me see if I have a brush here somewhere. I'm just gonna pop this in here just so you can kind of get the idea. Let's see if we can do this without it tracking my eyeballs. I don't know, can you see? Look at that. Holy moly. I mean, that's too much. It's just absolutely too much powder for sure. So these are the Revlon. This is in the color 001 Baby Pink, and it is just called Powder Blush. Boy, howdy, is it powder blush. But if you've been drawn in on obviously it is a decent sized pan that you would go through in a heartbeat because you go through so much product every single time you try to use it because it is so stinking dusty and powdery. But also it doesn't have any real payoff. I mean, I know it's a baby pink, but that is a swatch of it after I press. I mean, I had all of that on this brush and I just swatched it And I mean, so that's a really heavy, heavy, heavy swatch. So not only is it super duper powdery, but there's really no payoff whatsoever. And I know it's baby pink, but there's no baby pink payoff whatsoever. It's literally just like powders away. So this was a fail, and I would suspect that the entire range of the Revlon powder blushes are probably pretty similar, just not good enough. Next, we're going to talk about these sticks from NYX. Now, I'm not sure how new these are. I think these have been out for a little while. They're double-ended, and like I got two of the contours. So this one has a contour on one side, and then on the other side, it has a highlighter. And I gotta say, that is such a great concept. I know it's not brand new of a concept, but it's a really great concept because you can pack your, cream contour and your cream highlight in one in, your travel bag or whatever. It's just very, very convenient. The problem with these are that the contour color is so kind of waxy and it is not blendable at all. Now, you could take a brush and, obviously contour with a brush from the stick to your face, but I kind of feel like the entire point of having it in a stick is so that you can swipe it on. And if you look at, I think the packaging and everything, it shows that she's all like marked up, and then she goes back and she likely buffs it in after that, obviously. When you apply this to your skin, especially if you have mature skin or you have dry skin, it just doesn't ever buff all the way out. I put it on my hands and I wanted to show you see if I could show it to you on my hands. Like, look, here's the line. This is, I am pressing, okay? Just really, really trying to buff that line. You guys, look at what I did to the brush just now. I am doing my best. Okay. The line is bulletproof. That is not a good contour type. Look at that. So how are you supposed to make a contour out of that? That's insane. That is not good. Okay, so the other side is the highlighter side. It's a little bit more blendable, but obviously if half of the stick is crap, then it's not good. So if you've been kind of attracted to these sticks like me, they're not good. It's not worth however much they are. They're somewhere between $5 and $10, I'm sure. They're not good. They just don't work. Okay, the other one that I picked up was a double-ended blush stick. So excited to try these because I am into cream blushes. I think they are just amazing. And both of these colors to me are gorgeous for a pop of pink. Well, the problem is very similar with these. You put them on and they're just a little too like hard wax. They're very difficult to blend out. And even if you use a brush on them and you try to put some color down after you've put a brush on the stick, it doesn't work right. And so they're very, very similar to the contour in that they just don't blend out. So here's the blush, and I do think that that is a gorgeous shade, right? This is me. You guys, and I'm obviously doing this, I wouldn't do that on my face, but I'm trying to show you how it doesn't blend at all. And it blended it away a little bit, but it doesn't blend it out. And again, I did try like putting the brush on the product and then going, it doesn't work that way either. It just doesn't work that way. So these NYX sticks, I lost the lid. These NYX sticks, unfortunately, are definitely a bust. And they are one of those things that I feel like if you're like me and you're perusing NYX at Target or you're perusing NYX at Ulta, these are especially attractive. You're like, ooh, what a good idea. That blush looks beautiful. Oh, that contour and highlight, that's awesome. How great of an idea. So, compact and da-da-da. No, they're terrible. They don't work. They don't work. So these were a big, big, big fail. Okay, so next we're going to talk about these eyeshadows from Revolution Beauty. These are not as bad as the stuff that we were just talking about. They're just not great, okay? And they look gorgeous. They're like foiled liquid eyeshadows, right? Here's the deal with these. They look like they're going to have some pigment in them, right? they really just wash away to almost nothing. I mean, they really do. I put the rose gold one on in the parking lot when I got outside of Ulta. I don't know if any of you guys do that, but I mean, I get outside, like if I go buy a bunch of stuff at Ulta, I get out in the car and I start swatching it and playing with it. And I'm thinking I really should get home, but it's so exciting. I did that immediately with this. I went in there with no makeup on whatsoever. I got back out and I'm like, I thought, oh, I'm going to try the rose gold. So looks like this big old doe foot applicator, right? So you kind of take a little away and then you put some on, and I just swiped it onto my eyelid, right, of course. And then I used my finger to just buff it out. Now, if you are into a real sheer wash of just shimmer, you might like that. It's very sheer, you guys, and it actually is showing up even more on my hand than it showed up on my eyelid because I have more pigment in my face than I do on my hands, and it just disappeared. And I don't see that putting it on with a brush or doing anything. The product is so sheer that you really don't get much color payoff. You just get this sheer wash of kind of shimmer. They just aren't that great. And these are another one of those things, in my opinion, that kind of suck you in. If you are somebody who likes shimmer and you kind of, you're just drawn to that kind of stuff, it's almost like, kid in a candy store kind of stuff. I am one of those people that's drawn to that kind of stuff when I'm at Ulta or whatever, which is how I sucker myself into buying a bunch of stuff, because I look at this and I'm like, ooh, that's so pretty. And I don't always consider how pretty that might look on me. I just think it's so pretty, and so I buy the pretty thing, and then I'm like, oh, it's not so good when you actually put it on your face. That's what these are. They look really pretty in the packaging, and then they just don't do much when they're on your face. So these little eye things from Revolution Beauty, so they're the foiled liquid eyeshadows. Don't waste your money on them. I really just think don't waste your money on them. They could be maybe a decent eyeshadow topper, I suppose. I'm going to pass all of this stuff on to my nieces, who are kind of like tweens and early teens. They like to play with makeup, and so they'll have a heyday. They're going to love all of this stuff. But I think for an adult who actually likes to use makeup and appreciates good and bad makeup, that's not great makeup at all. Okay, next we're gonna talk about, these are also from NYX, you guys. And I gotta say, these looked amazing in store, and they are really pretty colors. They are the NYX, these are the Shine Loud, they're lipsticks. So one side is a long wear lipstick, and then the other side is a clear gloss. Now, I don't always like these because I still feel like they kind of dry out my lips, and then it doesn't matter how much of the gloss I put on, my lips still get dried out. But I was sucked in because the colors are fantastic. I feel like a lot of these products that are like this, the color range is always the same. It's always like there's a lot of sort of purpley colors. I don't know. It's just this shade range is really good. It's beautiful. Here's the thing, they do dry your lips out for sure. I swatched these two colors on my hand right here, and it took 4.5 days before I could get the swatches off. Now, I did not try to do a makeup remover or like a balm cleanser or anything like that to get it off. I was kind of waiting to see how long it would take for that to come off. Of course, I showered, washed my hair, washed my face, washed the dishes several times in those 4.5 days, washed my hands multiple times. I mean, so many things. And I mean, for the first couple of days, those swatches didn't budge at all. And then I did start doing, like, after I would wash my hands or wash the dishes, I would extra, with a paper towel or a hand towel in the kitchen or something like that. And still, they weren't budging. And then finally on the 4.5 day at night, I took a shower and I finally used some, like facial cleanser to remove makeup kind of thing on it because I was tired of looking at them. But I'm like, you could argue that that is a plus, Or you could say, what the hell is in there that they will stick to your skin for 4.5 days? I don't know. I don't think that's something I actually want on my lips. And they did dry my lips out, and that's probably part of the thing is if they could stick around on your hands through all of that, it's like, are they varnished? Like, what's happening right now? Anyway, the color selection is gorgeous. The longevity is clearly there. I just actually think these are probably pretty bad for your lips. And I think if you suffer or if you have dry lips of any sort or anything like that, you do not want to ever use these. I only used the lighter color one time, and I did feel like it came off my lips faster, but I use a lot of makeup remover and, you know, like I do a double cleanse and all that kind of stuff. I do a lot of stuff to my face. And so it came off my lips faster than it came off of my hands, but it still was on there like the next day on my lips. And that's through double cleanse and all of that stuff. I know that you could argue that that is what they're there for, but I don't think that's a good thing. I actually don't think that that's a good thing for, you know, the health of our lips and all of that stuff. And certainly not if you have dry lips. So those were a no also. So these are the Shine Loud lipsticks from NYX. Okay, let's talk about some eyeshadow from Maybelline. I was drawn to these little stacks from Maybelline, and I actually even did a get ready with me, and I used these, and I had to just sack the footage because so much of the makeup that I was trying in the get ready with me was terrible. And these were one of them. They started out and I thought, ooh, these are really pretty good. I used this one, and it is 3 different eyeshadows. It reminds me of like the Kaja or the Melt stacks where you get, you know, a lighter color and then you get a mid-tone shimmer or a light shimmer and then you get your base. And I mean, I think that brown is so pretty. It's like a cooler type of truffle brown. And then I popped that on the middle of my lid. And then this is like a brow color, or you could use that as, you know, your base if you wanted to. Honestly, it started out as a really beautiful look. It's Maybelline, and I've never had great luck with Maybelline eyeshadows. They're usually not a ton of color payoff, right? I would say that these actually have pretty decent color payoff compared to Maybelline eyeshadows I've used in the past. The thing is I did not use an eyeshadow primer, but they were gone. It was gone from my eyelids within an hour. Like, I don't know what happened or where the eyeshadow went, but I'm like, what just happened? Like, it just kind of melted into my face, and I hadn't done anything really different. Okay, so then I thought, well, I'm going to try this again. And then the next day I tried it with an eyeshadow primer, and I used the other color, which is beautiful, you guys. This is such a pretty stack of colors. And it stuck around a tiny bit longer. Like, that's the base shade. And then that's the mid-tone shimmer. Pretty. And then that's the lighter color. Okay. And so compact and cute. You know, you kind of get sucked into these kind of things, especially because there are more expensive counterparts in, like I said, Melt and Kaja, and there's other Morphe. Some of them have those stacks. So it stuck around just a little bit longer with the eyeshadow primer, but not much longer. It just sort of slowly, there wasn't a lot of color payoff to begin with, like not a ton, more than previously with Maybelline, but not a ton. And then it kind of just disappeared. And so I'm like, yeah, these are definitely also, they're like $10 each. So anyway, these were definitely also a fail for me. So if you've been attracted to these, then I don't know, I would skip them. Also, I want to say with any of this, if you've had a different experience, definitely comment down below, because this is just me and my opinion, obviously, and it's just makeup. So we could definitely have differing opinions, and everything is subjective to the person. I would say that these little NYX sticks, I don't know who could possibly like them, but they just are that bad. And honestly, these and their color tones, I'm not really sure who could possibly like them. The Revlon blush, it's too powdery. I don't know who could possibly like that. But some of these things are kind of a preference thing, and maybe you like it. Share that experience down below for sure. Okay, the very last thing is I picked up this cream bronzer from Revolution. Now, the reason why I actually picked this up is, first of all, I'm totally into cream bronzers. I'm into cream blushes. I'm into cream makeup. I love all of that stuff so much. I think it can be very flattering on maturing skin, especially if you're dry and dehydrated. It really, really can make your skin look more beautiful. Okay, the other thing about this one is they call it a bronzer, but it sure looks awfully cool to me. So I picked it up thinking that I might be able to use this as a cream contour. Well, the problem is, first of all, if we're going to go with that it's a bronzer, it is way too cool. I mean, it is like muddy looking, like putty. Not even muddy. It looks like putty. So who would want to bronze with that color? I don't know. It's right here. I mean, it's just not the right color to be a bronzer. Okay, setting that aside, if I wanted to use this as a contour, I soon found out that it just isn't, it's too heavily pigmented. It doesn't blend out. It's kind of waxy instead of like emollient. It's waxy, and you can kind of see it doesn't blend at all. It just doesn't blend. And so this is the Creme Ultra Cream Bronzer from Revolution Beauty. Also a massive fail. It's so incredible to find gems at the drugstore and save your money if you were going to spend, you know, at Nordstrom or Saks or Sephora or whatever. But equally bad is spending all of this money on stuff that doesn't work. I mean, if I added up all of that stuff, I'm looking at, I'm sure, you know, $60 or something like that on kind of just stuff that didn't work. So please take it from me and avoid those things and save your cash on that. A great drugstore item is great, and a bad drugstore item is a huge waste of money. So we don't want to do that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you'll subscribe before you go. It's the red button down below. I hope you'll share this video with somebody who might like it, and I will see you in my next skincare video. Take care.